What's wrong, darling? You look awful tired. Okay, well, why don't you come over here and relax with me? Lie down and I'll tell you a story to help you unwind. That's it, my love. Up on the couch with me. Now, for my story. Once upon a time, yes, it's one of those types of stories, with a hero and a villain, and a moral at the end. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. That's you. The princess lived in a castle with her prince who loved her very much. The princess was very beautiful and very kind. When she wasn't with her prince, she worked with the local children, teaching them all sorts of things. You like that, darling? You know how I worked your job into the story? Yes, I thought you'd like it. Anyway, all the children loved the princess. They couldn't wait for her classes, and they were sad when they had to go home for the day. They especially loved to hear her sing. The prince loved to hear her sing too, but she rarely sang at home. This made him sad. If the children got to hear her sing, why shouldn't he? No, honey, I'm sorry. I'm not having a go at you. Just listen to the story, okay? Please. I promise it's a good one. Just wait for the ending. So, one day, the prince followed the princess to school, so he could listen to her sing. He waited outside of the school's window and hid in a bush. He listened to her talking to the children and helping them with their problems, and eventually he got to hear her beautiful singing voice that he loved so much. After that, the school day ended, and it was time for the princess to go home to her castle, so the prince followed her, hoping to catch up with her and escort her home. But imagine his surprise when he rounded the corner and found her ready, walking with another man, and holding his hand, and you're not going anywhere, darling. Not anymore. You're going to stay right here in my arms while I finish the story. Hey, don't talk to me that way. If you can't say anything nice, I won't let you say anything at all. Now be a good girl and don't struggle while I tell my story. Alright, you settled down now. So the prince watched the princess and the strange man walking along together, hand in hand, until eventually they stopped by a park. The man led the princess into the park until they got to some bushes. At this point the prince had to hide so they didn't see him. Once they were sure that they weren't being watched, the man kissed the princess passionately. Before the prince's very eyes, he began taking her clothes off. Eventually, and now the prince really couldn't believe what he was seeing. Eventually, the man started making love to the princess. The prince was furious. His princess, his beautiful flower, whom he loved and cherished, was being ravaged by a commoner in the dirt of a public park. Distraught, he waited until they were finished, and watched as the peasant said goodbye to the princess, and she went on her way. Once the princess has left, the prince approached the peasant. Darling, I can't hear you through my hand, and I don't intend to remove it until I'm finished. The man seemed to recognize the prince, and immediately went pale. The prince challenged him, saying that the fair princess deserved a brave and capable warrior as her lover. If this common peasant couldn't best the prince in a duel, then the prince would let him have her. It was an intense and a bloody duel, but the prince won in the end. With his opponent defeated on the ground before him, he dragged the man away to receive his punishment. Not long after, he had locked the man in the castle's dungeons. The princess returned to the castle. There, now you're up to speed. Of course, we haven't quite reached the happy ending I promised. But that's because the story's not over yet. Let's finish it together, shall we? That's it. Now up you get. I know this is a little awkward, but you'll manage. There we go. Here is our main guest. Here is our prisoner. Say hello. He just doesn't have your eloquence, does he? What you ever saw in a peasant such as this, I'll never know. But does that matter? I suppose, because he lost the duel, and now his life is forfeit. Calm down, calm down. I won't make you watch if you really don't want to. There, darling. I forgot you were such a delicate little flower. It must have been the sight of you rolling around in the dirt with this pathetic pig of yours. I'll do it myself then. Can't have you interfering on account of your faint heart, though, my love. So I'll just keep you still for now. There you go, into the chair. Now I'm going to remove my hand, so don't scream, okay? Well, I told you not to scream. The next one will be harder, so be a good girl and stay quiet. Right, now, that should hold you. Unfortunately, I really don't think I can trust you not to scream after I walked away. So, there. That's a good girl. You stay nice and quiet until I'm done. I know, I'm getting to you. Don't worry, don't think I forgot. Ah, here it is. Just the one I was looking for. A nice, big carving knife for our fat little piggy. What do you think of the apple, by the way? I thought it was a nice touch. It was a devil getting it to stay in there, though. Right, well, I think I've stalled long enough. Such messy work. Still, for the sake of defending my kingdom and my princess, I'm happy to do it. Now, darling, about that happy ending I was talking about, I think it's time that we rode off into the sunset before the villain's henchmen try and hurt us, don't you think? That's right. I'll just untie this rope. I'll leave the other ones for you, though you don't need your hands at the moment, and we'll be on our way. I might carry you out to the car, though, because we need to be quick. This would be so much faster if you would just stop struggling. No, this won't do. Can't have you sitting in the car looking like that. People might get the wrong idea. Okay then. Sorry about this, but it's only for a bit. I'll see you again soon, my love. We can start a new life together.